This is a tutorial on the commission agreement, CAR Form CA. And this form is effectively an invoice for a seller or property owner. And a scenario in which this form is used is when, let's say, the seller's a landlord just selling to their tenant, or maybe it's a friend selling to another friend, or a relative selling to another relative. But basically that seller has found a buyer and asked you as an agent to get involved. Now, when this happens, typically the agent will call a broker, or I'll get this phone call and they'll say, do I need a listing agreement? What do I need? There's already a buyer and seller. They just want me to do the paperwork. Well, no, you don't need a listing agreement, but you do need something that's going to bill the seller for the commission. And that's what this form is. Now, it's short and simple, 2 pages. We'll go through it quickly. We start by putting the client's name up here. Because again, we're creating an invoice here. And it's an invoice that ensures our commission, but that we can also, if we have to, pursue the seller if we're not paid. We put the name of the brokerage right here. The amount we're charging, I put a percentage, but you can also check this box and write whatever you want here, or put a dollar amount. Then it asks for the property address. So we put that there. Now it says compensation is payable if principal accepts an offer on the above described property no later than, and then there's an open area for date. You must put a date here, or else this is a voidable document. This is potentially not legally binding if you forget to put something here. So it's imperative that you put a date in on this line. And I'd put it out as far out as possible. I mean, if you can put it for 6 months or a year, even better. Now it's saying you earn the money, the commission above, on recordation or recording of the deed, okay, obviously. Or if the transaction is sabotaged by this person up here, the principal, by your client. Or if the other party, presumably the buyer, sabotages the transaction, and when the seller collects damages from the buyer, then you're paid then. That's what this item number 3 is. So basically, either the transaction gets done or someone sabotages it, and then you get paid. Transaction never gets done, you don't get paid. It's that simple. Then there's all this boilerplate advisory text. What is an MLS? Exposure to buyers through the MLS. I'll say one thing about the MLS, okay? Because this form presumes that this isn't entered in the MLS because you're not marketing the property on the MLS. If an agent's marketing on a property, in general, it should always go on the MLS, but that's a whole other topic. Both parties initial the bottom, agent and the seller. Interesting how they call it seller here and then principal up there anyway. All right, and then what happens if there's a dispute? Well, mediation is the first course of remedy. And if mediation doesn't work, then it escalates. And it says down here that they can go to arbitration, but they need to do an additional form A or B. Usually arbitration is the next course of dispute resolution after mediation to avoid going to court. But the only stipulation in this document is that both parties agree to go to mediation. Now the principal signs, and then the agent is going to sign down here. Now, where it says broker, they mean brokerage. So write the company name, and then you as the agent will sign here, date, put your license number. And that's it. This is your invoice. This is your IOU for a commission if you're not getting a listing agreement, because in other cases, the listing agreement is your invoice, and you take that listing agreement or this document to the cashier. Escrow is the cashier, and then you get paid your fees through escrow. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you.